abroad, and if we meet, we shall not escape a brawl. Now these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows that when he enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table and says, God send me no need of thee. And by the operation of the second cup, draws it on the drawer when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Come, come. Thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as in me in Italy, and as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved.
And what two?
Nay, and there were two such. We should have none shortly, for one would kill the other. Thou? Why, thou wilt quarrel with a man that hath a hair more or a hair less in his beard than thou hast. Thou wilt quarrel with a man for cracking nuts, having no other reason but because thou hast hazel eyes. Thou hast quarreled with a man for coughing in the street because he hath wakened thy dog that hath lain asleep in the sun. And yet thou wilt tutor me from quarreling.
Oh, by my head, here come the Capulets.
By my heel I care not.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen, good day. A word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us? Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
You will find me apt enough for that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consortest with Romeo.
Consort? What, dost thou make us minstrels? And thou hast made minstrels of us. Look to hear nothing but discord. Here's my fiddlestick. Here's that shall make you dance. Zounds, consort!
Hey, we talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw into some private place and reason coldly with your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look. And let them gaze! I will bitch for no man's pleasure, I.
Well, peace be with you, sir, for here comes my man, Romeo. The love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none, therefore farewell, I see thou know'st me not.
Boy, this does not excuse the injuries thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw.
I do protest, I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise till thou shalt find the reason of my love. And so, good Capulet, whose name I tender as dearly as my own, be satisfied.
Oh, calm! Dishonorable, vile submission! All the staccato carries it away. Tybalt! You rat catcher, will you walk?
What would thou have with me?
Good king of cats. Nothing but one of your 9 lives that I mean to make bold withal, and as you shall use me hereafter, drive big the rest of the 8! Will you pluck your sword out of his pilcher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be about your ear ere it be out.
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Come, sir, you're passado.
Strike true, Tybalt.
Let's go, Mercutio.
Yeah! Yeah!
Ah!
Come on.
Mongolia, be down, let's go. Gentlemen, for shame, forbear this outrage.
Stay out of it, Romeo.
Get him up there!
Let's expressly forbid bandying in for other streets.
I opened your houses. I'm sped. Is he gone and have nothing?
What? Art thou hurt?
A scratch. Mary, 'tis enough! Where's my page? Go, villain, fetch a surgeon!
Courage. Man, the hurt cannot be much.
No, 'tis not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door, but 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I'm peppered and warned for this world. Plague on both your houses. Zoons, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat to scratch a man to death, a braggart, a rogue, a villain that fights by the book of arithmetic. under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me into the mouse, Benvolio, or I shall faint. A plague on both your houses. They have made worms meat of me. I have it, and soundly to your houses.
This gentlewoman, the prince's ally, my very friend, hath got her mortal hurt on my behalf. My reputation stained by Tybalt's slander. Tybalt that an hour hath been my kinsman. Oh, Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor's steel.
Romeo, brave Mercutio's dead. That gallant spirit hath aspired the clouds which to untimely here did scorn the earth.
This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woe, others must end.
Oh, here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Alive in triumph and Mercutio slain. Away to heaven respective lenity and fire and fury be my conduct now! Tybalt, take the villain back again that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our head, waiting for thine to keep her company. Either thou or I or both must go with her.
Thou wretched boy that didst consort her here shall with her hence.
This shall determine that.
Romeo, away! Begone, the citizens are up and Tybalt slain! Stand not amazed! The prince will do me death if thou art taken hence away! Begone! Why dost thou stay?
Where are the beginners of this fray?
Noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man, slain by young Romeo, that slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, my cousin. Oh, my brother's child. Oh, prince, cousin, husband. Prince, as thou art true for blood of ours and blood of Montague. Oh, cousin.
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt, you're slain. Romeo's hand did slay. Romeo, that spoke him fair, and bade him bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged with all your high displeasure. All this uttered with gentle breath, calm look, knees humbly bowed, could not take truce with the unruly spleen of Tybalt, deaf to peace.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false, he speaks not true. Some 20 of them fought in this black strife, and all 20 could but kill one life. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him. He slew Mercutio, who now the price of his dear blood doth owe.
Not Romeo, prince. He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes but where the law should end, the life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately we do exile him hence. I have an interest in your hate's proceeding. My blood for your rude brows to fly a-bleeding. For I'll amend you with so strong a fine that all shall repent the loss of mine. I'll be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase our abuses. Therefore, use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he's found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body, and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those that kill.
haste, you fiery-footed steeds, towards Phoebus' lodging. Such a wagoner's phaeton would whip you to the west and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close curtain, love, performing night, that runaways' eyes may wink, and Romeo leap to these arms, untalked of and unseen. Come, night, come, Romeo, come thou day and night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow on a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving, black-browed night, give me my Romeo! When he shall die, take him and cut him up in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven shine so bright that all will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. I have bought the mansion of a love and not possessed it, and though I am sold, yet enjoyed. So tedious is this day as is the night before some festival to an impatient child who hath new robes and may not wear them. Here comes my nurse, and she brings news, and every tongue that speaks but Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence. Now, nurse, what news? Ay me, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
Oh, well a day, he's dead, he's dead. He's dead, we are undone, lady, we are undone. Alack the day, he's gone, he's killed, he's dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Oh, Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, whoever would have thought it,
What
Romeo!
devil art thou that dost torment me thus? This torture should be roared in dismal hell. Hath Romeo slain himself?
I saw the wound. I saw it with mine eyes. God save the mark here, on his manly breast. A piteous corse, a bloody, piteous corse, pale, pale as ashes, all bedaubed in blood, all in gore blood. I swooned at the sight!
Break my heart! Poor bankrupt, break at once to prison, eyes ne'er look on liberty. Vile earth to earth resign, end motion here, and thou and Romeo press one heavy bier.
Oh, Tybalt, Tybalt, the best friend I had. Oh, courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman, that ever I should live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered and is Tybalt dead? My dear loved cousin and my dearer lord? And dreadful trumpet, sound the general doom, for who is living if those two are gone?
Tybalt is gone, and Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished.
God. Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. It did. Alas the day, it did.
Serpent heart hid with a flowering face. Did ever dragon keep so fair a cave? Beautiful tyrant, fiend angelical, was ever book containing such vile matter so fairly bound? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous palace.
There's no trust, no faith, no honesty in men, all perjured, all forsworn, all not, all dissemblers. Ah, where's my man? Give me some aqua vitae. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shame! Come to Romeo!
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is ashamed to sit. What a beast was I to chide at him.
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. Your husband lives, which Tybalt would have slain. And Tybalt is dead, that would have slain your husband. All this is comfort. Wherefore I weep then? Some word there was, worser than Tybalt's death that murdered me. I would forget it fain, but oh, it presses to my memory like damned guilty deeds to sinners' minds. Tybalt is gone, and Romeo banished. That banished, that one word banished, hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. Where is my father and mother, nurse?
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corse. Will you go to them? I will bring you thither.
Wash they his wounds with tears, mine shall be spent where theirs are dry for Romeo's banishment. Take up those cords. Poor ropes, you are beguiled, both you and I, for Romeo is exiled. He made you for a highway to my bed, but I, a maid, die maiden widowed. Come, cords, come, nurse, I'll to my wedding bed, and death, not Romeo, take my maiden head.
Hie to your chamber. I'll find your Romeo to comfort you. I wot well where he is. Hark ye. Your Romeo shall be here at night. All to him. He is hid at Friar Lawrence's cell.
Find him. Give this ring to my true knight, and bid him come and take his last farewell.
Romeo, come forth, thou fearful man! Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
Too familiar is my dear son with such sour company. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment has vanished from his lips, not body's death, but body's banishment.
What, banishment? Be merciful, say death. For exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banishment!
Hence from Verona thou art banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but torture, purgatory, hell itself. Thou cutt'st my head off with a golden axe and smilest upon the stroke that murders me.
Thou deadly sin, O rude unthankfulness! This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives. And every cat and dog and the little mouse, every unworthy thing live here in heaven and may look upon her, but Romeo may not.
Thou fond madman, hear me but speak a word. I'll give thee armor to keep off that word, adversity's sweet milk philosophy to comfort thee, though thou art banished.
Oh, thou wilt talk again of banishment, yet banished. Hang up philosophy. Unless philosophy can make a Juliet, displant a town, reverse a prince's doom, it matters not. It helps not. Speak no more.
Then I see that fond madmen have no ears.
How should they, when the wise men have no eyes?
Let me dispute with thee of thy estate.
Thou canst not speak of that thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love an hour, but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me, and like me banished, then mightst thou speak. Then mightst thou tear thy hair and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Romeo, rise, one knocks, hide thyself.
Not I, unless the breath of heartsick groans mistlike enfold me from the search of eyes.
Hark how they knock. Thou wilt be taken. Stand up, arise. Romeo, stay a while. I must attend this. I come. Who knocks so loud? Whence comes you? What's your will?
Let me come in and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome then.
Oh, Friar. Oh, tell me, Holy Friar, where is my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
There on the ground, with his own tears made drunk.
Oh, he is even in my mistress' case. Blubbering and weeping. Weeping and blubbering. Stand up. Stand up! Stand, and you be a man for Juliet's sake. For her sake, rise and stand. Why should you fall into so deep... Oh, God.
Spakest thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Does she not think me an old murderer?
She says nothing, sir, but weeps and weeps, and now falls on her bed, and then starts up, and on Tybalt calls, and then on Romeo cries, and then down falls again.
As if that name, shot from the deadly level of a gun, did murder her as that name's cursed hand murdered her kinsman. Tell me, friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me that I may sack the hateful bitch!
Hold thy desperate hand! Art thou a man? Thy tears are womanish! Thou hast amazed me. By my holy order, I thought thy disposition better tempered. Rouse thee, man. Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy. Also, the law that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessings lights up upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array. But like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou poutest upon thy good fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go. Get thee to thy love, ascend her chamber hence, and comfort her. But look not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live till we find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 200,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth in lamentation. Nurse, commend me to thy lady. Go hence. Bid her hasten all the house to bed. Romeo is coming.
Oh, Lord, I could have stayed here all the night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is!
My lord, I'll tell my lady you will come.
Do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide.
Here, sir. A ring she bid me give you, sir. Hie you. Make haste, for it grows very late.
Oh, how my comfort is revived by this.
Give me your hand. 'Tis late. Farewell. Good night.
Oh. But that a joy past joy calls out on me, it were a grief so brief to part with thee.
Have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we have had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly, and so did I. Well, we were born to die. 'Tis very late, she'll not come down tonight, I promise you, but for your company, I would have been abed an hour ago.
These times of woe afford no time to woo. My lady, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will. And know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mute up to her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay more, I know it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here of my son, Paris's love, and bid her mark you me. On Wednesday, but soft, what day is this?
Oh, Monday, my lord.
Monday. Wednesday is too soon. A Thursday let it be. A Thursday tell her she shall be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste? We'll make no great ado. A friend or two. For hark you, Tybalt being slain so late, it may be thought we held him carelessly if we revel much. Therefore we'll have some half a dozen friends in there and end. But what say you to Thursday?
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
I get you gone, a Thursday be it then. Go you to Juliet ere you go to bed. Prepare her, wife, against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord. It is so very, very late that we may call it early by and by.
Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale and not the lark that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn. No nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight, I know it I. It is some meteor that the sun exhales to be to thee this night a torchbearer and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet, thou needst not to be gone.
Let me be ta'en. Let me be put to death. I am content, so thou will have it so. I'll say yon gray is not the morning's eye, 'tis but the pale reflex of Cynthia's brow. Nor that is not the lark, whose notes do beat the vaulty heaven so high above our heads. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is my soul? Let's talk. It is not day.
It is, high hence be gone away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division, this doth not so, for she divideth us. Now be gone, more light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam,
Nurse,
your lady mother is coming into your chamber. The day is broke. Be wary. Look about.
then window let day in and let life out.
Farewell, farewell. One kiss and I'll descend.
Art thou gone so? Love, lord, I, husband, friend. I must hear from thee every day and the hour, for in a minute there are many days. By this count I shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo.
Farewell. I will commit no opportunity to convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Thinkst thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not. And all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come.
God, I have an ill-divining soul. Methinks I see thee now thou art below as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails or thou lookst pale.
And trust me, love, in my eyes so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu. Adieu.
Is it my lady mother? Is she not down so late or up so early? What unaccustomed cause procures her hither?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death. What, will thou wash him from his grave with tears? Well, girl, thou weepest not so much for his death as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
God pardon him, I do with all my heart. And yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
Well, that is because the traitor murderer lives.
Aye, madam, from the reach of these my hands would none but I might venge my cousin's death.
We will have vengeance for it. Fear thou not, then weep no more. I'll send to one in Mantua, where that same banished runagate doth live, shall give him such an unaccustomed ram that he shall soon keep Tybalt company. And then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear him named and cannot come to him, to wreak the love I bore my cousin upon his body that slaughtered him.
Find thou the means, and I'll find such a man. But now, I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they, I beseech your ladyship?
Well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who, to put thee from thy heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy that thou expectest not, nor I looked not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is that?
Marry, my child. Early next Thursday morn, the gallant, young, and noble gentleman, the County Paris, at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
Not by St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride! I wonder at this haste that I should wed ere he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray you, tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom I know you hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Well, here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it at your hands.
Oh no, a conduit girl. What, still in tears, evermore showering. In one little body thou counterfeits a bark, a sea, a wind. For still thine eyes, which I may call the sea, do ebb and flow with tears. How now, wife, have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
Soft, take me with you, wife. How will she none? Doth she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Doth she not count her blessed, unworthy as she is, that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud I can never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
How now, chop logic, what is this? Proud, and I thank you, and I thank you not, and yet not proud? Mistress Minden, you, thank me no thankings, nor proud me no prouds, but fettle your fine joints against Thursday next, to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I'll drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out, you green sickness carrion. Out, you baggage, you towel face!
Aye, what are you mad? Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me but with patience to speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. I tell thee what, get thee to church a Thursday, or never after look me in the face. Speak not,
Please.
reply not, do not answer me. My fingers itch. Wife, we scarce thought us blessed, that God had lent us but this only child, but now I see this one is one too much, and we have a curse in having her. Out on her, Hildine!
God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so.
And why, my lady wisdom?
I speak no treason.
Oh, God, he could tell.
May not one speak?
Peace, you mumbling fool! Utter your gravities over a gossip's bowl, for here we need it not.
You are too hot!
God's friend, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, tide, time, work, play, alone, in company, still my care hath been to have her matched. And having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage, of fair domains, rich and nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportioned as one's thought would wish a man, and then to have a wretched, puling fool, a whining mammet in her fortune's tender, to say, I cannot wed, I am too young, I pray you, pardon me. But if you not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it, think on it. I do not use the jest. Thursday is near, lay hand on heart, advise, and you'll be mine, I'll give you to my friend. And you be not. Hang, beg, starve, die in the streets. For by my soul I'll ne'er acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to it. Bethink you, I'll not be forsworn.
Is there no pity clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief. Sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week, or if thou wilt not, make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh God. Oh, nurse, how can all this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. How shall that faith return again to earth, lest that husband sent it to me from heaven? Comfort me, counsel me, alack, alack, that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. Hast thou not a word of joy, some comfort, nurse?
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing, that he dares ne'er come back to challenge you, or if he do, it needs must be by stealth. Then since the case so stands as it now doth, I think it best you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dish clout to him, an eagle, madam. Hath not so green, so fair, so quick an eye as Paris hath. Beshrew my very heart, I think you are happy in this second match, for it excels your first, or if it did not, your first is dead, or 'twere as good he were as living here, and you no use of him.
Spakest thou from thy heart?
And from my soul too, or else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in, and tell my mother I am gone, having displeased my father, to Friar Lawrence's cell to make confession and to be absolved.
Marry, I will. And this is wisely done.
Ancient damnation. O most wicked fiend! Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with the same tongue that hath praised him with above compare so many thousand times? Go, counselor. Thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. I'll to the friar, to know his remedy. If all else fails, myself have power to die.
On Thursday, sir. The time is very short.
My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course. I like it not.
Immoderately. She weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talked of love, for Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she doth give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hastes our marriage to stop the inundation of her tears, which too much minded by herself alone may be put from her by society. And now do you know the reason of this haste?
Look, the lady comes towards my cell.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
Well, that may be, must be, love, on Thursday next.
What must be shall be.
Well, that's a certain text.
Come you to make confession to this friar?
To answer to that, I should confess to you.
Do not deny to him that you love me.
I shall confess to you that I love him.
So will ye? I am sure that you love me.
If I do so, it will be of more price being spoke behind your back than to your face.
Thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it.
Maybe so, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now, or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure, handsome daughter, serves me now. My lord, we must entreat this time alone.
God shield I disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early will I rouse ye. Till then, keep this holy kiss.
Oh, shut the door! And when thou hast done so, come weep with me past hope, past cure, past help.
Ah, Juliet, I already know thy grief. It strains me past the compass of my
Tell me
wits.
not, friar, that thou hear'st of this, lest thou may tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently. Be not long to speak, I long to die. If when thou speak not of remedy.
Oh, daughter, I do spy a kind of hope. If rather than to marry County Paris, thou wilt have the strength and will to slay thyself, then is it likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away the shame? And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Bid me leap rather than marry Paris from off the battlements of yonder tower, or walk in thievish ways, or bid me lurk where serpents are. Chain me with roaring bears, and I will do it without fear or doubt to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold then. Go home. Be merry. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor drink thou of, when presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor, for no pulse shall continue its native process, but surcease. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death, thou wilt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Then thou wilt be borne to the ancient vaults where all the kindreds of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, Romeo shall know our drift by my lips, and he shall come, and we shall watch thy waking, and that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua. All this will free thee from this present shame, if no womanish fear abate the valor in the acting it.
Give me! Tell me not of fear.
Go, get thee home. Be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I shall send a messenger with my letters to thy lord.
Love, give me strength, and strength shall help me forward. Farewell, dear father.
What, has my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence?
I, forsooth.
Well, he may chance to do some good on her. A peevish, self-willed harlotry it is.
See where she comes from shrift with merry look.
How now, my headstrong? Where have you been gadding?
Where I have learned me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am enjoined by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here and beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you, henceforward I am ever ruled by you.
Send for the county. Go tell him of this. I'll have this knot nipped up tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful lord at Lawrence's cell and gave him what becomed love I might, not step o'er the bounds of modesty.
I am glad on it. This is well. Stand up. This is as it should be. Now, afore God, this reverend holy friar, our whole city is much bound to him.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow?
No, not till Thursday. There is time
Go,
enough.
nurse. Go with her. We'll to church tomorrow.
We shall be short in our provision. 'Tis now near night.
Tush. I'll stir about, and all things shall be well, I warrant thee, wife. Go thou to Juliet, help deck up her. I'll play the housewife for this once. I will myself walk to County Paris. My heart is wondrous light since this same wayward girl is so reclaimed.
Aye, madam, those attires are best, but I pray thee, gentle nurse, leave me to myself tonight, for I have need of many urgings to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which, well, thou know'st is cross and full of sin.
What? Are you busy? How need you my help?
No, madam, we have culled such necessaries as are behooful for our state tomorrow. So please you let me now alone, and let the nurse stay this night up with you, for I am sure you have your hands full all in this so sudden business.
Good night. Get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell! God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint, cold fear thrills through my veins that almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse! What should she do here? My dismal scene I needs must act alone. Come, vile. If this mixture do not work at all, shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No. This shall forbid it. Lie thou there. What if it be a poison which the friar subtly hath ministered to have me dead, lest that in this marriage he should be dishonored because he married me before to Romeo? I fear it is. And yet methinks it should not, for he hath still been tried a holy man. How if, when I am laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me? There's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault to whose foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Or if I live, is it not very like the horrible conceit of death and night together with the terror of the place, as in a vault, an ancient receptacle where for these many 100 years the bones of all my buried ancestors are packed, where bloody Tybalt yet but green in earth lies festering in a shroud, where, as they say, in some hours in the night spirits resort. Alack, alack, is it not like that I, so early waking, what with loathsome smells and shrieks like mandrakes torn out of the earth, and living mortals hearing them run mad? Oh, if I live, shall I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefather's joints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud, and in this rage with a great kinsman's bone, as with a club, dash out my desperate brains? Look, methinks I see my cousin's ghost seeking out Romeo that did spit his body on a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay! Romeo, I come. This I do drink to thee. mistress? What mistress? Juliet? Fast I warrant her she. Why, lamb, why, lady,
Fie, you slug-a-bed.
why, love, I say.
Madam, sweetheart, why, bride. What, not a word you take your penny's worth now? Sleep for a week. For the next night I warrant the county Paris hath set up his rest, that you shall rest but little. Oh, God forgive me, Mary and all men. How sound is she asleep? I must needs wake her, madam. Madam, madam! Aye, let the county take you in your bed. He'll fright you up in faith, will it not be? What dressed? And in your clothes? And down again. I must needs wake you, lady. Lady? Lady? Alas. Alas. Help. Help! Help! My lady's dead! Oh, ever a day that ever I was born! Some ugly tale! My lord, my lady!
What noise is here?
All lamentable.
What is the matter?
Oh, look!
Oh, my child, my only life. Revive. Look up, or I will die with thee. Help. Help. God!
If I may trust the flattering truth of dreams, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. My bosom's lord sits lightly in his throne, and all this day an unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. I dreamed my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathed such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Me. Oh, how sweet is love itself possessed, when but love's shadows are so rich in joy.
What ho, my lord?
News from Verona, how now, Balthazar? How is my lady? Is my father well? How is Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
Then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels lives. I saw her laid low in Kintred's vault, and presently took post to tell it you. Oh, pardon me for bringing these ill news, since you did leave it for my office, sir.
Is it even so? Then I defy you, stars! Thou know'st my lodging. Get me ink and paper and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some misadventure.
Gosh, thou art deceived! Get thee gone, and hire those horses! Oh, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means. Oh, mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I think I remember an apothecary, and hereabouts he dwelled. Apothecary! Apothecary!
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, man. Hold. Here is 40 ducats. Get me a dram of poison, such soon speeding gear as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life-weary taker may fall dead, and that the trunk may be discharged of breath as violently as hasty powder fire doth hurry from the fatal cannon's womb.
Such mortal drugs I have. Mantua's law is death to any he who utters them.
Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness and fierce to die? Famine is in thy cheeks. Need and oppression starveth in thine eye, contempt and beggary hangs upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it and take this.
My poverty, not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will and drink it off. If you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
There is thy gold. Worse poison to men's souls, doing more murders in this loathsome world than these poor compounds that thou mayst not sell. I sell thee poison, thou hast sold me none. Farewell. Buy food and get thyself in flesh. Calm, cordial, and not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there must I use thee.
Holy Franciscan friar, brother, ho!
That same should be the voice of Sister Jane. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or if his mind be writ, give me his letter.
Here in Verona, visiting the sick, the searchers of the town, so fearful of infection, they sealed up the doors and would not let me leave, so that my speed to Mantua there was stayed.
Who bare my letter then to Romeo?
I could not send it. Here it is again.
Unhappy fortune! This letter was not nice and full of charge of dear import, and the neglect may cause much danger. Sister, go hence, get me an iron crow and bring it straight unto my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
Now must I to the monument alone. Within 3 hours will Juliet wake. She will beshrew me much that Romeo has had no notice of these accidents, but I will write again to Mantua with my letters. Keep her by myself till Romeo come. Oh, poor living corse, closed in a dead man's tomb. Oh.
Take this letter. Early in the morning see thou deliver it to my lord and father. I beseech thee, whene'er thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof and do not interrupt me in my course. Therefore hence be gone. But if thou jealous dost return to pry in what I further shall intend to do, by heaven I shall tear thee joint by joint and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage wild, more fierce and more inexorable far than empty tigers or the roaring sea.
Then I will be gone, sir, and not trouble thee.
So shalt thou show me friendship. Take this, live, and be prosperous. And farewell, good friend.
This is that haughty, banished Montague that murdered my love's cousin and is come here to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend him. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued farther than death? O condemned villain, obey and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man, but fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gone, let them affright thee. I love thee better than myself, for I come here armed against myself. Stay not, be gone. Live, and hereafter say a madman's mercy bade thee run away.
I do defy thy conjurations, and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Wilt thou provoke me, then have at thee, boy.
I am slain! If thou be merciful, open the tomb. Lay me with Juliet.
In faith I will. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. Grave? No, a lantern. For here lies Juliet, and her body makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. How oft when men are at the point of death have they been merry, which their keepers call a lightning before death. Oh, how may I call this a lightning? My love, my wife, death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Oh, Juliet, how art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean abhorred monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Here will I remain with worms that are thy chambermaids. Here will I set up my everlasting rest and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, O you, the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct. Come, unsavory guide. Thy desperate pilot now at once run on the dashing rocks thy seasick weary bark. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus with a kiss I die.
Romeo! 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 Oh, pale. Oh, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. The lady stirs.
Comfortable friar, where's my lord? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where's Romeo?
I hear a noise, lady, coming from this nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict has thwarted our intents. Come, come, good Juliet. Thy husband lies dead, and Paris too. Juliet, stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, good Juliet, go. I dare no longer stay.
Go, get thee hence, for I will not away. It's here. Cup closed in my true love's hand. Poison I see hath been his time to sin. Oh, churl drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after? I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth hang on them to make dye with a restorative. Thy lips are warm.
Lead, boy, which way?
Yea, noise, then I'll be brief. Happy dagger. This is thy sheath. Ah!
This is the place where the torch doth burn.
Oh, misadventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning's rest.
Oh, heavens. Oh, wife, look how our daughter bleeds.
Oh, me! The sight of death is as a bell that warns my old age to a sepulchre.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir more early down.
Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief of our son's exile has stopped her breath. What further woe conspires against mine age?
Look, and thou shalt see.
Thou art taught! What manners is in this? To press before thy father to a grave?
Seal up the mouth to help wait for a while, till we can clear these ambiguities. Bring forth the parties of suspicion.
I am the greatest, able to do least. Romeo, there dead, was husband to that Juliet, and she was his faithful wife. I married them, and their stolen wedding day was Tybalt's doomsday. All this I know, and if aught in this miscarried by my fault, let my own life be sacrificed some hour before his time unto the rigor of severest law.
Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is laid upon your hate. That heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for weakening at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
Oh, brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
But I can give thee more. For I will raise her statue in pure gold, that while Verona by that name is known, there shall no figure at such rate be set than that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo's by his lady's lie, poor sacrifices of our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
What good is love? That no one shares. And if my life is like the dust, that hides the glow of a rose. What good am I? What good am I? Heaven only knows.
Apologize if I can steal you for 2 seconds. So, I made a promise to a young friend of mine that I intend to keep. What he doesn't know is what I got something for him was, this is a playbill signed by the entire cast and crew. So that's the first thing I got for him. Came Friday night, he said he was a big fan. So I made a second promise, was Matt. Matt, come on. You gotta come out here, Matt. Alright. So we made another promise to him. You should stand between us. All right, ready? No, okay. So we got a surprise for you. We can do all three, face the audience. Are you ready? Can we get a countdown from a 3, 2, 1? Ready? 3, 2, 1.